Sonia and I help people take their power back. And I am live here on TikTok celebrating having 1,004 subscribers here and over 500 now over on YouTube. And I just felt like coming live and hanging out with you guys. So let me know if you have any questions and what you want to talk about tonight. But yeah, I hit a couple major milestones and just wanted to come hang out and answer some questions and just see what's going on. Oh, so unless we got some questions going on, I had a question. I'll make a video about it at some point. But someone asked me why you need to work on your self-concept if you can just affirm for SP. And here's the thing, some people do just affirm for SP. If you robotically affirm for SP, the way that they successfully do that is by using their SP affirmations to change their self-concept, to change all of the beliefs that are hindering them from having the relationship they want. They use something like, we're so happy together, so when any thoughts about how, well, I don't know, I'm not good enough, they wouldn't want me. No, we're in a happy relationship, so that shit isn't true. All of that has to go. You can't keep telling yourself, I'm not wanted, I'm not chosen, self-concept, and expect to have a happy relationship with SP. Those are two different states of consciousness. So you can affirm all day long for your SP, but if you hold beliefs about yourself and that you wouldn't be wanted or you're not good enough for a relationship, that shit has to go. It has to go. It can't be both ways. So let me know if you guys have any questions, because I don't know what to talk about. Like I said, I just wanted to come on here and see if anybody wants to hang out and talk manifestation. Unplanned live. But yeah, it is your entire belief system that manifests. Your entire belief system creates your reality. So if you're holding on to beliefs that you can't have certain things, or you couldn't have this thing that you're manifesting, or, this person would leave you, or all men or all women or all cheaters, or like all of that shit has to go if you're going to manifest what you want. Hi Sonia, I love your videos. So glad you can go live now. Me too. I'm on here celebrating. I hit over 1,000 subscribers here on TikTok, and I hit over 500 on YouTube. So it's a big day. Big day. Thought I'd come hang out. So if you have any questions, let me know, because I don't really have anything to talk about. So it could just be me staring at the camera. This was not the shirt to wear because it's kind of hard to read the comments in the white text on top of it. Now we know for next time. Why are you stalking other people? Don't follow people on Instagram. But he's messaging me every day and making more effort to speak. Stop looking at Instagram. No. That's it. You need to focus on you. And what you are thinking. And right now you are focused on what they're doing. Like, if you were happy together, why, like, you wouldn't think about 3P. Hi. If you were happy with SP, you would not think about the third person, because there wouldn't be a third person. So stop looking at what they're doing. I am wanted, I am chosen. I am more than enough. I am the top priority. They want me and only me. We're so happy together. We spend all our time together. Anything else needs to go. Anything else needs to go. Where are you going? Or are you leaving? But the more time you spend thinking about and doing things to see what 3P is doing, you are keeping them in your reality. I feel like I keep acting normal with him. He'll just keep me in his life with no intention to commit. That's because that's what you tell yourself. You're creating this entire situation right now with the way that you choose to view it. So you've decided that SP would rather be with 3P and that they're like building a family and that you just have to hang on for dear life. And he's mirroring that back to you perfectly. So you need to drop all of that. You need to look at yourself as a person who is wanted, chosen, more than enough, is the top fucking priority, and he only wants to be with you. You're the only one that makes him happy. If you are in a committed relationship, then 3P has nothing to do with anything. My best SP has dated me on and off for years. I friend-zoned him. He stopped talking to me. Now he has a girlfriend. I want him back. All right, then there's no other girlfriend and you guys are so happy together. That's it. But like I was saying before, you, with this other person I'm speaking to, you have to see yourself as, you know, worthy and deserving and enough and amazing, and that this person wants you and only you, and stop focusing on that they are with someone else or what happened in the past. None of that shit matters. So just keep messaging him as normal. I can ask to see him, or is that chasing? You can do whatever you want, but you have to be prepared that if he tells you something like, I hate you and I never want to see you again, that you're going to be able to stay here in your imagination and tell yourself that that's not true and that you're going to end up together. And if having that happen is going to send you into a fucking spiral, then you need to go back up here and do the work before you ever do anything with him. Hey, hope you're well. I'm amazing on here celebrating hitting over 1,000 subscribers here on TikTok, and I hit over 500 on YouTube today, so having fun. Need to stop stalking the 3P socials. I sometimes get an urge to check it and end up regretting it. If you are happy with your person, you do not have a third party that you are checking on their social media. Unless you get together and then you're worried about them cheating, and guess what? You're focused on them cheating, so they're going to cheat. So why are you so worried about the other person? If you are in your imagination happy with your person, what thoughts are coming up that are making you go, they would be with someone else? Because those are the thoughts that you need to get rid of in order to get this person back and keep them in your life. Awesome. Congrats. Thank you. Any advice on feeling guilty for manifesting my SP? I think it might come from not feeling worthy. It could be that. I would ask myself, why do I feel guilty about manifesting my SP? Because your brain will tell you the answer. And whatever answer you get is what you need to work on. I'm not enough. I'm not worthy. I'm not deserving. And then just like with anything else, you would start telling yourself that that's how things are now, right? So just like with SP affirmations, they love me so much, they love me so much, they love me so much. No, I'm more than enough. I am worthy. I deserve everything I have ever wanted. Enough for this person feels weird. Yeah, I would, like I said, you need to start telling yourself, I'm more than enough. I'm deserving. This person sees me as the most amazing person ever. We're so good together. Yeah, I think it comes from the idea that she wouldn't choose me willingly, so it feels like I'm forcing her to be with me. But yes, thank you. I'm going to work on that self-concept. Yeah. You are worthy and deserving of everything that you want, and you can't desire something that you can't have. So right there, you're putting all these things that come from past shit, and you don't have to go figure out where the past shit came from, but you get to choose now. Are you going to continue to tell that shit, or are you going to choose something else? Are you going to let go of all this bullshit and get the relationship that you want, or are you going to continue to let that crap dictate your life? Because if you don't feel good enough and like they're better than you, then that's, even if you moved on to somebody else, that same shit's going to come up. There was another. This shirt is the worst for reading comments on here. I did not. It's like white text on this shirt and I can't focus. How do you change the story of SP? You start telling yourselves different things about SP. That's the same way you change any story about anything that you're manifesting. All manifestation is the same. Literally all of it. Whether you're manifesting money, SP, house, self-concept changes, it's about repeating to yourself something different than what you're currently telling yourself. You can't desire something you can't have. Wow, didn't even think of it that way. Yeah. Yep. But you're right, gonna keep with changing the story of self because it's really not her, it's me. See, and the fact that you know that means that you are closer to getting her than you fucking know. Because, like, so much of this is just the awareness of what am I constantly telling myself to experience what I'm experiencing right now. Because everything's a manifestation. So if you can figure out and not go digging, and it's not like you have to solve the problem, it's about realizing what you're doing and what you're telling yourself and make a different choice. And do it consistently, talking about that last comment of changing the story. You change the story the same way that you created this one. Things happened and you formed a belief. Now you're going to change the belief by telling yourself something different, and when you'll truly believe it is when you start to experience it. But you're going to choose it in here before to get it to manifest. Because that's how this works. Again, with everything. With everything. Thank you guys for the likes. Getting used to going live on TikTok. Yeah. How do you know this new story has been impressed onto the subconscious? I would not worry about if my subconscious is impressed and just focus on telling myself the new story. Because here's the thing. Eventually it will just take over and it will be your default mindset. And I know that sounds crazy because you're so used to the thoughts that you're having and it feels like so much work to focus on something different. But I promise you, the repetition will change your subconscious and you will eventually function from that place. Now, once you manifest your relationship, you don't get to go back to having shitty thoughts about yourself or about SP. So that mental diet part is forever. And if you can just focus on getting really good at making sure that your thoughts are in the right place, your subconscious is going to get impressed. And the more you're worried about, oh my God, is it done yet? Do I still have to? The longer it's going to take because you're not focusing on what you want, having what you want, or things going the way you want. You're focusing on not having what you want and wavering, being like, oh, has it happened yet? Is it working yet? So put the focus on making sure you're thinking of things the way that you want them to be. So do we say SP is loyal? He prioritizes me, etc. to ourselves. Yep. Yep. Instead of being like, oh my God, they're with 3P, they'd never choose me. I am more than enough. I am wanted. I am chosen. I am deserving of this relationship. He's loyal to me and only me. He only has eyes for me. He wants to spend all of his time for me. I am his top priority. Literally. Pay attention to the way you currently think about you and your SP, and think about how you're thinking about the 3P, and you got to change that mindset. Change it. And it is the repetition that will get your brain to change. I see what you mean, because if I focus too much in the subconscious, it's kind of checking the 3D in a way. Yeah, it is. It is. I think the thing that's, I don't want to say trickiest, but the thing that sneaks up on you the most is all the sneaky ways that you will catch yourself wavering. And that's one of them. Being like, oh, I wonder if it's working. You're wavering. You're wavering. You are not focused on it being done and a sure thing if you're wondering if your subconscious is impressed, or if you're checking the 3D. Like, it's very similar. Very, very similar. Self-concept does work, though, because an ex came back wanting to be with me recently. See? See, you know what you're doing. It's just about tweaking it. Yes, wavering is such a bad habit that I've been aware that I do. See? Again, that awareness. You cannot change something that you're not aware of. So the fact that you are aware of this, it's just like a little bit of a shift. Just a little bit of a shift. You're definitely on the right path because you're already getting birds. Don't read too much into your birds, but if you have exes coming back, you're doing something right. True, I guess I'm not giving myself enough credit for this. Only just discovered LOA a few months back. Well, you're kicking ass, dude. Don't get... I know that it's hard to not beat yourself up when things aren't the way you want them to be, but if you're getting birds. So you're getting things that you want in a way you don't want them, but that means you're doing it right. So just keep going with what you are doing, and now that you know exactly what is going on, I think that will help you a lot. And also, when you start getting caught up and being like, where is this coming from? Why does this keep coming up? Ask yourself. And then you know, okay, that's the thing that I need to work on. And not, like I said, don't go digging for shit to work on. But if things come up, what I've done that helps me a lot is if I notice something keeps coming up and it's like a repeated thing that I keep getting fixated on, that's when I'll just ask myself, like, what the fuck is this? And how can I let it go? And a lot of times it'll just go away. Thank you, Sonia. Love your videos a lot. You make it seem way simpler. Well, thank you. That's why I wanted to start sharing this stuff, because I felt like people made it too fucking complicated. Does birds before land mean it's coming soon? Yes, but I don't recommend getting caught up on seeing signs, synchronicities, and birds, because if you focus on that shit too much, you'll just manifest more of it. Because it's all about what you put your focus on. My mind became a fun place after I found LOA, laugh out loud. Mine too. Mine too. Mine used to be a nightmare. My head was not a good place. It was bad. It was bad. But the more you build that awareness, the more you start shifting thoughts, like I said, eventually the shit that you're affirming right now will become your mindset without you having to think about it. And then when you start thinking things of, oh, I'm not enough for my person or shit like that, you're going to be like, where the hell did that come from? Absolutely not. We're not doing that anymore. Same, it was pretty bad for me too. Yeah. Yes, it was. Yes, I didn't ask for. Don't ask for signs, guys. I did it in the beginning. It just became more aware of signs. Yeah. Worked over 3 years with a law of attraction coach. All I manifested was signs because we literally had to write them down like it was something that was really important. Yeah, don't do that. Now I don't give a crap about signs. Who gives a shit? If I don't have what I want, I just keep going. Oh yes, I look back on my life and I'm like, well, yeah, no wonder this shit happened. Right? Right? Once you start to see it and you understand it, you start looking back and are like, oh God. Yeah. Yeah, that was me. That makes sense now. It's so true. Hi. Yeah. I know when you first find this stuff and people are like, you've always been manifesting and everything is a manifestation and it's always been a manifestation. For me, there was this period of like, I don't want to take responsibility for all that. But it's like, when you understand it, it's like, yeah, I see it. I see it. It's a blessing, though, because now we can change it. That part right there. Yep. And you can change your past, too. Revision. It's real. It is real. When I say you can accept or reject any thought you have, it's true. It may not seem like that, but you can. Laugh out loud is how I feel like SP just blocked me, but I know I can change it. Hell yeah. They're going to come back to you with some lame ass excuse of why they act, oh my God, I accidentally blocked you. I'm so sorry. I had a client who came to me being like, I'm being ghosted, and was like very aware of, the things that needed to be worked on and all the things. And we, talked about some stuff. She started shifting her mindset. 3 days later, I get an email from her. Yeah, he found me on Snapchat because his cell phone broke and he couldn't get my number back. And he'd been like trying to show up at my work, trying to find me because he didn't have any way of contacting me. You never know when or how things are going to change. All you can do is keep your mindset in check. Like I knew because I was worrying she would, and it happened 2 days after us being fine again. See, but you're aware that you caused it, so you're learning progress. Oh wow, see, it's all about perspective. Yep. Exactly. Oh my God, they're ghosting me. They don't want to talk to me. I'm not good enough. No, I'm more than enough. Of course they want to talk to me. They're gonna contact me any minute. The big thing I told her to do, I'm like, what is a different story you can tell other than you're being ghosted? Pick anything. It doesn't matter. But now when you want to tell yourself you're being ghosted, that is what they are now doing. They are doing anything other than ghosting you. They're busy. They're going to call me later. But yeah, the more you realize, oh, I created this problem, the faster you're going to get yourself out of it. Hi. I did reach out to SP yesterday because of Thanksgiving, and now we are in contact and been affirming. She loved being with me and talking with me. I'm seeing subtle changes. See, you got this. You got this. You got this, handsome Squidward. Like, you guys are together and you're so happy, and you can't believe that you ever thought that, like, they wouldn't want to be, she wouldn't want to be with you. It was ridiculous. It was like, that was silly. You're the best thing that ever happened to her. Exactly. She chooses me. She chose me once, she'll choose me again. That right there. Yep. She always chooses me. Every time. She can't stand being with anybody else. It was the worst decision she ever made when we broke up. All she's done this whole time is think about being back with me. And you don't have to exaggerate it that much if you don't want to, but that's just what I do. Because remember, it's not about the exact affirmations. It's about telling yourself things are the way you want them to be versus whatever crap is currently happening. Because where you put your focus is what you're going to get more of. So focus on good things. Did you get overwhelmed in the beginning realizing your power? I completely lost my shit. Completely lost my shit. So I first found manifestation. I was talking about this in the last little live I did on TikTok. I got the date wrong. I first found manifesting in the beginning of 2018 when everything just like fell apart in my life. I was in the worst place I'd ever been in. Some shit happened. I owned a dog grooming business and shit went down, and I just lost it one day. I was still in tears, and I'm like, I gotta go to therapy, and found a therapist that had an appointment before I stopped crying. I was just like, I can't do this anymore. And it was my therapist who inadvertently got me into manifesting. Because I would go in there and be like, I am so unhappy. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know what would make me happy. And she's like, well, you need a vision board. And I was like, what the fuck is a vision board, and why the hell would I want one? Like, what? I had no idea. Zero clue. So I was like, okay. And started researching vision boards. And that's how I found Law of Attraction. And from there, I started listening to podcasts and reading books and watching YouTube videos and like trying to understand it. In the beginning of 2019, I decided to start working with the Law of Attraction coach, which is the one that I said I worked with for over 3 years, and gave away all of my power to this coach. When I talk about being in a Law of Attraction cult, that's what I'm talking about. I gave all of my power to this coach. They had so many limiting beliefs, so much bullshit, but I bought into all of it because I didn't know any better. I had no idea what manifesting actually was or how it fucking worked. And it was 2 years ago now that I had gotten on TikTok wanting to do like tarot readings and stuff. And through me getting on TikTok, I found the law of assumption. And I did not understand, but that was kind of my waking up moment of maybe this coach doesn't know what they're talking about. But I was so in this like culty atmosphere that I couldn't fully grasp it. But having somebody talking about manifesting SPs, where my coach was like, you can't manifest people to love you and you can't manifest people, like, was a was a moment. It was in there. And then I started seeing things in the group, and I kept questioning things, and then I ended up finding Naya on YouTube and started learning more about law of assumption. And then it was in July. Yeah. July of last year, I found Sammy Ingram on YouTube, and she's like, it is your thoughts that create your reality. You have full control of all of it. And I went into a massive fucking spiral because I was like, I have bought into this bullshit from this other coach for years, giving all my power away, and now I have all of this power and I didn't know what to do with it. And it was like, holy fuck. So yeah, I was very overwhelmed when I first like really understood what the fuck I was doing. My first therapist also suggested The Secret to me. Yeah, I hated law of attraction, made me hate the idea of manifesting for years until I found law of assumption. The thing with law of attraction is it's so fucking complicated. There's so many rules and just so much bullshit and so much conflicting information. I didn't understand it at all. I'm like, this person says this and that person says that, and it's your feelings that manifest. And my coach was like, you want to feel happy because your feelings manifest, but if you're sad and angry, that's okay, that doesn't manifest. And I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, it can't be this hard. What are your pronouns? She, her. But I feel that when I realize I have all the power, it scared the fuck out of me, because now I accepted that this is how it's always been. Now I can change for the best. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Once I, you know, and things like came to a head, all like there's a lot more shit from that whole experience, but right after I figured out what was actually the deal, I quit working with that law of attraction coach, and after I like stopped spiraling, I'm like, I need a fucking job and I need it yesterday. And I manifested a job on a time crunch. And I was like, okay. Because my coach was the queen of, you can't manifest a specific job. You just, you'll either get that job or something better. And being like, I not only manifested one job, I manifested two jobs on a time crunch, one of which I wasn't qualified for technically, and was the least qualified person, but decided I wanted that job, and guess what? They hired me. And I was like, okay, this changes everything. And it was a little bit of a process, but yeah, getting to the point where you can like accept it, that it's always been you, so life-changing. So life-changing. Oh my god, I hate the whole this or something better BS. No, I want this and only this. That right there. Yeah. Oh. And again, I didn't know any better. But it's like, okay, well, I guess I'll either get this or something better. And looking back at that time, yes, I did change some beliefs in some ways, but like my mindset was the same leaving that as it was going in, other than I had a lot of bullshit limiting beliefs that I had picked up from that coach telling me the same shit for 3 years. I'm so bad at visualizing. I'm more of a thinker. It stresses me out because it's my one time. If you don't like to visualize, you don't have to visualize. You're manifesting perfectly. How do you naturally think? Okay, take how you're naturally thinking and then think of things the way you want them to be instead of bitch, whining, moaning, and complaining. You don't have to visualize. Yeah, some people think manifesting an SP is not possible when we manifest SP all day, every single day. That. Exactly. It's the people who are like, it's wrong to manifest SPs and you don't have any control over SPs. And it's like, you just totally killed the whole fucking concept of manifesting. If it is your thoughts that create, and anything you think about, you will experience, because you are creating your experience by how you're thinking, then you just threw out the fucking law of how shit works by deciding that this is the one area in which that doesn't work. Explain that to me. Like, that doesn't make any sense. What are your thoughts when a coach tells you you deserve better than your SP? It's reflecting back to you what you believe about your SP. I've had a few people come to me with this. All my friends are telling me that I deserve better, and it's everything is a reflection of you. So you believe, like, that's being reflected back from you. So you need to work on your self-concept of, I am worthy, I am deserving, I am more than enough, and you need to work on seeing them as the best version of them. That's what I've been doing, just persisting in thoughts in alignment with my desire. There you go, then you're doing it right. Right, that's what I would say. How can you manifest $10,000 but not a person? It makes no sense. Exactly. That's where I struggled for so long. I couldn't understand, like, all the rules. It's like, oh, well, if you want this, then you have to, like, think of it like this and do this shit. And it's like, it hurt my brain. It hurt my brain, and then I was so focused on signs, because that's important, that I never got anything to change. And then I really understood law of assumption and that it's your thoughts, and man, my mindset was in the fucking garbage. It was so bad. So bad. But through robotically affirming, it's not like that anymore. I now just naturally think my affirmations. And I've spoken on recently about how I have so many things that I've been working on my mindset around for so long that I understand when Neville would talk about the Sabbath and being like, you just don't give a shit anymore. I'm like, yeah. Everything's working out in my favor. Everything's perfect. I don't got to do a lot of work anymore. It's going to work itself out. Sammy swears by robotic affirmations. She's the robotic affirmation queen. Mm-hmm. And I find that I needed robotic affirmations in the beginning. Like, my brain was so just out of control. But now, there are times where I'll robotically affirm, but knowing that it's just that the way I naturally think manifests and has always manifest, I just make sure that I'm focusing on things being the way I want them to be. What is your biggest thing you have manifested? My sanity, my mental health, being happy every day and not depressed and anxious and not wanting to live, getting rid of all that shit. Yeah. Can you manifest moving to a different state? Yep. You can manifest anything. If you can imagine it, if you can desire it, then it means it's possible. So just tell yourself, I love living in whatever state. I love living here. Everything's perfect. And all the, well, that would never happen, and how could I get there, and all the things that would have to fall into place. Well, they all fell into place because you live there now. Glad you were here with us. Also struggled with mental health, and this has changed my life for sure. Yeah, it's, man, it was bad. It was bad, and I had done therapy, and I had done so many things to like help myself and make things better, and nothing has helped as much as robotically affirming. That was what changed. That's what started it. I started really, really heavily robotically affirming. It was about this time last year. Isn't it wonderful? Everything's perfect. 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 And through that affirmation, I was led to all of the stuff that I needed to do for my body in order to get my mindset, because I was having like all these other things going on, but it was through that I was led to all the answers that I needed. And I am so grateful for that. I'm telling myself I'm going to London this Christmas. Nice. Yep, I went to therapy for 10 years and only got stuck in my same story over and over again. That I just was talking about that somewhere where I'd gone to therapy once and just did like talk therapy for a little bit, and then I went and did not EFT, what is it? EMDR for like 9 months. And what I came to the conclusion of is I have like 5 to 10 events in my life that, stuck with me. And until I found law of assumption and realized that I could just let it all the fuck go, guess what I held on to and kept repeating over and over again? And when you don't realize that you can just let it the fuck go, I didn't understand. People were like, just let it go. I didn't understand. I didn't understand that I could just tell myself something different. I didn't understand that I don't have to hold on to a past that I don't want to be true. I didn't understand that all I had to do to become confident was fucking decide I'm confident and start telling myself I'm confident instead of being shy and quiet and blah, blah, blah. Like, that's it. Never realized why I was still in the same shit until LOA. That right there. That right there. It's like, man, I have done so much work. I've done all the things. I've taken so many classes. And nothing changed because I never changed. I never fucking changed. I did all the things in the 3D, but I was the same me. And once you realize that, you can really change things. And yes, it takes repetition, but when you think about it, it's like you've been repeating this old shit over and over again your whole life. So yes, saying something that, is new is uncomfortable, and like I'm confident when you really don't feel confident. It feels weird, but I will tell you, it felt a lot better than trying to do all the things that people tell you to do to be confident, like go out in public and do this, and that, and the other thing. I did all that shit. It never really helped my confidence. What helped me the most with my confidence was telling myself I'm confident. Changing me. Truly changing me. That's why therapy can be tricky, because they can enable people to stay in the same story and validate the old story. Yeah. Listen, I think that therapy can help people, but at the same time, I feel like if you know that like you can just let shit go, that's been my new favorite affirmation recently. I easily let shit go because I found myself getting caught up on things that didn't matter. And I'm like, man, I wish I could just let this go. And I'm like, the only reason you can't let it go is because of you. So I easily let shit go. Because why hold on to things that don't make you feel good, that make you miserable, that are just going to create more shit you don't want? Why? Why do you do that? because it's familiar and it's comfortable and it's what you're used to doing. Okay, but you know better, so when you know better, you do better. Or you can't be upset when you get more of the same shit. I don't want more of the same shit. Like, that shit can go away now. Thank you very much. Especially now knowing, again, you don't have to hold on to it anymore. You guys have anything else you want to talk about tonight? Exactly. Done with my own BS. I deserve the best life, especially in love. That right there. Look at you. You've already changed all the things. It's crazy. The old story doesn't bother me anymore. Yeah. Yeah. I remember after, I don't even know how long, but I had been affirming and robotically affirming and hi. And working on, self-concept stuff and all this stuff. And I remember waking up one morning and my thoughts were my affirmations. And it kind of freaked me out. I was like, what the fuck? That's not what I normally think in the morning. And I was like, oh my God, those are my affirmations. Like, holy shit. Like, not truly realizing and understanding that by repeatedly telling yourself something different, things are going to change and, like, the change is real. Thank you. Been doing a lot of mental work. The ego wants to stay the same, but I tell it no. Yep. That's all it is. And like I said, now that you're really aware of the underlying thing, you're going to the root of the problem and the rest is going to fall into place. Excuse me. Just keep coming back to what you want. When you catch yourself, bring it back. And you don't have to fight with it. It's a choice. At the end of the day, it is a fucking choice. Are you going to stew in the old shit? Or are you going to focus on something different? And once you start to see that focusing on something different really does change not only the way that you think, but your outside world, why aren't you going to choose doing that? It really does come down to a choice. And I know, especially when you first start out, it doesn't feel like that's all it is, but it's a choice. It's a choice. You always have a choice how you are going to view everything. So true, the ego really wants to keep us safe, when in fact it is not at all safe. It's when in fact it is not at all. It's an illusion. Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, and like, I don't even know so much if your ego is trying to keep you safe. Because people who have a, pattern of being in abusive relationships, that's not safe, but it's what's familiar. Your brain wants to keep you in what's familiar because that's what it's familiar with. That's what it knows. So telling yourself, I'm in a healthy relationship and I'm loved and adored when you're not used to that is uncomfortable, even though that is technically safe. But the more you can realize it's all whatever you decide it is, meaning it is an illusion, and the more you realize how powerful you are, and that the only thing standing in your way is you, that's another big one. What's your thoughts on you need to heal childhood trauma? Honestly, I feel like if it's something you feel like you need to work through, then you need to find a professional that can help you do that. But honestly, if you can just decide that it no longer matters and let it go and focus on something else, whether that's through revision, being like that never happened, or just thinking of things differently as they come up, you're going to change and heal all of that by changing your mindset. But the longer that you continue to attach to shit in your childhood and identify as that person and be the person where that is a problem, then that's what you're going to continue to experience. It's refreshing, frustrating to know it's all me though. It's empowering though. That one, yeah, it is. It's all of those things. But the more you do it, the more you know, accept it and get used to it. I love saying that never happened. It's so much fun. Yeah. Yep. I also use when I have memories that I'm like, yeah, no. That was a bad dream. I remember that dream because you have dreams you remember. You have bad dreams you remember. That was a bad dream. That never happened. Yep, I don't even remember much of my childhood being traumatic, but everyone on here is saying you need. I'm guessing you need to heal from childhood trauma. I mean, if that worked for them, good for them. But like, I did the inner child healing, and I did all the all the things, ancestral healing, and all the things. And it's not that I didn't learn shit from it, but it never made anything better. What made things better is realizing that as long as I continue to tell the same stories, I'm gonna get the same fucking results. And there's nothing about any part of my life that I have to accept. I can change fucking anything because the past isn't real. You're remembering a past. And even they've done studies on this. Your past, you don't remember the past for what it is. You're remembering your perspective of the past, first of all. But over time, your memory of what happened shifts. It's like when there's a crime and 10 people witness the crime. All the witnesses are going to tell you something different happened through their perspective, and then over time their story is going to change. Our memory is not perfect. And if it's not perfect, you can change it altogether by deciding something different. And because the way our world works, that shit will get mirrored back to you because you're literally shifting into a different reality where none of that shit was even true because that's now what you believe. Yeah, I just say that the only thing that exists is the present, nothing else. That right there. And the more you can be in the present and just be like, this is how shit is now, you'll believe it. The way that you believe the old shit, you'll believe the shit you're telling yourself now. Thank you. You have been really helpful. Aw, thank you. I'm glad you like my videos. That's a good point. The past is subjective. That's why revision can be a game changer. Yeah, the past isn't real. The past, what you remember of the past, this is the same with siblings. They've done this with siblings. Like, siblings growing up in the same household, having the same parents, remember events differently and had a completely different experience growing up. It's always been your perspective. And as things, you get away from things that happened in the past, like, it only continues to be real because you're telling yourself that it is. And you can change whatever the fuck you want to. It's very true. My siblings will recall a memory that I never even remember. So weird. Yep. But we're taught, the past is important and who you think you are is important. Like, oh, but those past things shaped me into who I am. Okay. Can't you still be that person and have had a different experience? Is that a cat or a dog? That I was just looking at walking by? That's my dog, Jax. I thought maybe he would come over here, but he said no. No, no, Mom, I'm going over here being pouty. He's the one, if you, I think I talked a little bit about it on here, but he has a degenerative disc disease, and he um, has been paralyzed in his back legs 3 times in his life, and this just happened the third time in October. And I started affirming that he can walk and everything's good, and overnight he just was able to walk. Do animals experience thought transmission? I think they do. I groomed dogs for 11 and a half years. When I was in a good mood and I was calm and my thoughts were in a good place, the dogs acted way better than when I was in a shittier place. They pick up on it. They definitely pick up on you. I was on here on TikTok live the other day with my friend Sheila, and she's like, I'm pretty sure the cat's manifesting me to get off of here and play with it. And I'm like, yeah, that's probably true. It's probably true. So glad he's better. I love manifesting for others. I do too. I find it easier than manifesting for myself. Just because I don't constantly think about other people. So whenever I do think about people, it's super easy for me to be like, oh, this is how things are for them. I'm glad Jax is better too. He gets really cranky when he can't walk. Cats are the best manifestors. Let's be real. They always get what they want. Yep. My dogs always get what they want to. But yeah, cats are definitely next level. For sure. I honestly think that the more people who truly understand manifesting and are really conscious, true conscious creators, that we will learn and understand even more about manifesting. Thoughts on Bashar? I actually really like Bashar. Um, I I don't know the whole thing with like the whole story of like the channeling and all of that, but the message, I like a lot of stuff that Bashar says. Especially now that I understand more of what the fuck he was talking about. I remember finding him in my law of attraction days and being like, huh? What? But now that I understand what the fuck he's talking about, I like watching Bashar. But I very much so, when I say this in a lot of my videos, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. This is your reality. Just because something works for somebody else doesn't mean it that you have to take it on as part of your belief system. So the more that you can be aware of you and, you know, catching those times where you're like, man, I really don't like what that person said, like that I don't like, you know, that doesn't feel right, that feels makes this feel hard or whatever, then that wasn't for you. Let it go. All I can do is speak from my experience. And your experience is not my experience. And honestly, if you understand that it's just your thoughts and you can think whatever you want, like that's all you need to know. Hi Sonia, can you Explain how SP gets thoughts transmission to them, if that makes sense. It's because everyone is who you think they are, and they're thinking what you think they're thinking. So all that exists is the present moment. If you are thinking of this person and you are thinking of them this way, then they are getting those thoughts even if they aren't necessarily consciously aware of them, because we're all connected. And honestly, I don't focus on, oh, they're getting the thoughts I'm thinking. I just focus on thinking about things the way I want them to be and let the rest go. Because to me, that's focusing a lot on trying to make it work. Instead of just assuming that have what I want, it's like trying to make sure I'm doing things to make sure SPs, it's in there that they want to be with me. Personally, a lot of coaches harbor a lot of limiting beliefs onto us. Yes, they do. And that's where I'm like, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. That stuff that doesn't resonate is not for you and is more than likely a limiting belief of that coach. What are some of your favorite things you have manifested? Well, like I said earlier, my mental health is my biggest and favorite manifestation because I don't get up and hate being alive anymore. I love that I manifested my dog being able to walk, like, out of nowhere. My other favorite, I've manifested so much shit, but my other dog had a lump on her neck, and I took her to the vet and told him to look at it, and the vet tech felt it and saw it, and they took her into the vet, and the vet went to look for it, and they couldn't find it. And that lump's never come back. Manifesting getting on social media, manifesting just being happy, manifesting understanding manifesting. Just some of them. Do they ever know it's from manifesting? I find it weird that they can receive thoughts. Confusing. Then let that shit go. Just let it the fuck go. You're doing this anyway. You know, have you ever had a moment when you're thinking of something and then somebody says that says exactly what you were thinking, and the joke in my family has always been, stop using my brain? That's all it is. Let that shit go and focus on things being the way you want them to be. The rest will work itself out. You're too into the how and trying to like understand shit that doesn't fucking matter. Because people are constantly thinking of you too, and you're getting thought transmissions from them. Do you know that they're manifesting like shit? Like, this is your reality. Focus on what you have control over, which is viewing things the way you want them to be. Let the rest of that shit go. Biggest one I hate is energetic chasing. And if you focus on you, they will focus on you. Yeah, that whole twin flame stuff is wild. But yeah, that one's bad. Okay, thanks. I'm focusing on my story, not the past. There you go. Focus on that. Don't worry about if they're getting your thoughts and if what they're thinking whatever you think they're thinking. That's the most important thing. So in your head, when you start wondering, oh, I wonder if they like me or if they thinking about me, or no, they're thinking about me. They can't stop thinking about me. I am their favorite thing to think about. And let the rest go. The whole twin flame stuff messed me up so bad in the beginning of my manifestation journey. Yeah, I didn't get super into twin flame stuff, but it did come up. I was in my law of attraction cult days at that time, so I was convinced you couldn't manifest a person, and all the twin flame people say, well, you can't manifest people. and that's ridiculous, then your whole, like we were talking about earlier, then your whole concept of what manifestation is goes out the window. If it is your perspective that manifests, you can have a different perspective of any person, and they have to mirror that back to you. So your twin flame can't possibly be exempt from something that nobody can be exempt from. Is manifesting even possible for aphantastic? Is that when you have aphantasia? I thought I had aphantasia for a long time, and I still manifested just fine, because it's not the act of visualizing that manifests. It's how you think, how you view things, how you perceive them, what you tell yourself about them. It doesn't matter if you can visualize. Then how do you naturally think? You're thinking about things. You have a perspective of things, belief systems about things. You have to change that shit. If you want to manifest an SP and all you think about all day is how they don't like you and they spend all their time with their 3P and you would never be chosen, guess what? You're right. Your brain's working perfectly creating that. It's all you. Everything you are experiencing right now is a manifestation. So you need to change how you view things and think about things in order to get them to change. Whether you can visualize or not is irrelevant. I've manifested plenty of shit without visualizing. Because like I said, up until recently, I didn't realize I could visualize. Hi, Sheila. I didn't know you were going live. I didn't either. I just decided I'm bored and I want to celebrate my social media milestones and thought I'd come on here and see what happens. Yes, I do it all the time and I have it. See? There you go. Nope, you do not have to... You don't have to visualize in order to manifest. And if you find coaches who are telling you that shit, that's what we were talking about earlier. People putting their limiting beliefs on you. That's all that is. Don't listen to that shit. I love the random lives. Yay. Hi, Christina. Plus, you can use Sims if you can't visualize. Yeah. See, you need to go follow Sheila. She'll help you out. Thank you guys for the likes. Encourage more viewers to share. If you guys want to share, you can. I'm probably going to be hopping off here pretty soon. But if you guys have any other questions, let me know. Thank you for the rose. Did you make it home okay? Trying to see focus when I'm seeing all these birds. Stop focusing on the fucking birds, Christina. We've had this conversation. Just affirm when you see your birds. I did. I had a star rise burning and some salt Palo Santo burning to cleanse energy. Nice. Burning things is fun. Clear that energy. I like how Kimberly puts it. Sage that shit. Yeah. Christina, just affirm when you see birds. Don't focus on the birds. Repeating, I'm more than good enough, and I'm with my SP now. He only wants me. See? There you go. I do, yes. Then you're doing everything you can do. Just keep doing it. Everything's perfect. I always get what I want. I get what I want quickly and easily. I know exactly what I'm doing. It's already done. That one. Right there. It's already done, Christina. It is already done. It's done, it's done, it's done, it's done, it's done, it's done, it's done. It's done. When you see your next bird, it's done. And it is. It's done. We all need this reminder. We're not perfect, but it's just being aware and having people to hold you accountable. I agree. Absolutely. Stop being hard on yourself about it. Just remind yourself it's working perfectly. You're doing it perfectly. You're the only one who can decide that you're messing it up anyway. So don't do that. Don't do that. Anyone have any more questions for tonight? If not, I'll probably get off of here, but if you want to talk a little bit more, I got nothing to talk about. Try to affirm it's working no matter what. There's always movement. Yep, you're doing it perfectly. There is always movement. I swear, with this headband, you really do look like your Sims. That's funny. I learned that this is the worst shirt to go live on TikTok with because I can't read the white text on my shirt, so I'm like trying to move, trying to see what people are typing. So now I know. He's mine and I'm his. Relationship are easy to get and keep. It's mine. It is yours. Your SP was the easiest thing you've ever manifested. Ever. You always get what you want quickly and easily without even having to try. I'm just lurking. Hi, Jacqueline. You can lurk if you want to. She's been in and out. What are you drinking? I'm drinking tea. Ooh, yeah, your trip at 1 a.m. Woo! Kicking you guys. It's gonna be a fun trip. It's game over for more consistent lives with me and Sonia. Yes. Yes, have a safe trip. Have fun. Yeah, I'm excited to go live more with you. Queen of manifesting. It was a lot of fun the other night. I'm planning on doing more lives over here on TikTok in general. I wanted to see you tonight, and here you are. Here I am. You manifested that. I wasn't planning on going live today, and then I was like, I'm gonna go live now. I enjoy going live and hanging out with you guys. It's fun. Anybody else have any questions? Because I do think if you don't, I'm going to get off of here, but it has been super fun hanging out. And we were trending the other day too. I know we were. I'm trending right now, so fun stuff. But yeah, Sheila, we're going to have to definitely go live more. How long have you been consciously manifesting? Well, my entire life, as have you. I first found manifestation in the beginning of 2018. Started understanding it truly about a year and a half ago. Always trending. Always. We trend all the time. Yes, we will. Yes. Fun stuff. But I can look back in my days before I understood or knew about manifesting, and I see how not only I manifested the good, but I manifested the bad. Everything has always been a reflection of me. Yes, and always on everyone's FYP. I'm always on my own FYP, and I find it hilarious. Hi, tips on ignoring logic when trying to affirm SP who isn't in my current 3D. It's a choice. When you start to think about how you're not together and you don't know how you would be together or whatever, you choose to focus on telling yourself that things are the way you want them to be. And you focus on that as much as you possibly can. It's the repetition that'll make it more familiar, which will make it easier to think about and will make things change in your physical world to prove you're right. Got you. Repetition. Thank you. You're welcome. It's repetition. Repetition of coming back to the new thoughts, the new story, reminding yourself how things are going to be now. The 3D is just old shit anyway. It's If you are on top of telling yourself that things are the way you want them to be, then the 3D is either old shit or it's you getting what you want. If you are not on top of telling yourself what you want to be true, then you just got to look at it as this is just old shit and I can change it. Everything is whatever you tell yourself it is and what you choose to view it as, and you can change how you think about it at any time. And don't beat yourself up for thinking about it the old way. That's what you're used to thinking. So just bring it back. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. And don't wear this shirt next time I go live. It's horrendously bad. All right, last call for questions, and then I think I'm going to get off of here for tonight. I need to figure out what the hell I'm doing in December when it comes to lives, because I do want to go live on TikTok more and go live with Sheila some, so we'll have to... I think blue is definitely your color. I have noticed that more and more too. I like blue stuff. It just can't be this loud with the white text. I can't read it. It like blends into my shirt and I'm like, what does that say? Solid colors. Solid colors for live on TikTok. True, maybe darker solids. Yeah, because the text is white. Like it's white. And it's like floating on my shirt and it's like I can't. So dark solid colors for TikTok. See, live and learn. You never know unless you do it, right? It's annoying that it can't be changed. Yeah, it would be nice if I could change it to something else. But now I know and I can dress appropriately to be able to read my comments on TikTok. You'll live and learn. We need MySpace rules on it. All right, guys, last call for questions, and then I'm going to get off of here. Like I said, I am going to start going live consistently on TikTok. I don't know what that looks like at the moment. I am going to go live tomorrow morning on my YouTube channel at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time if you want to come hang out tomorrow morning. And then Tuesday at 6 Central Standard Time on Tuesday. And like I said, I need to figure out when I'm going to be going live on TikTok because it kind of just snuck up on me that I can go live on here. So, but yeah, it's been a blast hanging out with you guys. Thank you for everyone's support, getting me over 1,000 subscribers here on TikTok. I'm over 500 on YouTube. It was a big day of milestones. I absolutely love coming and hanging out with you guys and making videos for both platforms. So thank you guys for everything, and I will see you very, 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 very soon. You guys have a great rest of your night. Have a wonderful Friday night. You too, Christina. Enjoy your weekend. And I will see you very soon. Love and light.